Howdy, I'm Zared Mays.
And I'm Ethan Ring.
Today we'll be talking about college planning night, distracted driving, last week's games, and much more right after this.
All sophomores and registered 9th and 11th graders will take the PSAT on October 16th. The test starts on the beginning of the day.
Remember, on September 30th, there will be a high school and college planning parent night in the cafeteria. It will start at 6:30 p.m. and consist of college financial aid informational that is led by a UGA representative, followed by a grade level specific breakout session with our counselors.
Remember that every student is required to pay a technology fee. If you have yet to do so, then do not hesitate. You can pay via online or by cash and or check.
Membership forms and money will be due for the ESP Club at their meeting Wednesday, October 2nd at 7:30 a.m. or 3:30 in the room E10.
Now for a public service announcement. Distracted driving is an activity that diverts the attention of the driver. Here's a short PSA video about texting and driving.
Up next is a JCNS-TV. Oh wait, whoops. Looks like it's your turn, Ethan.
All right. It can wait. Take the pledge to drive distraction-free.
Up next is a JCNS-TV video by our Level 3 student.
Hi, my name is Jet Lopez and I am a junior here at JCCHS. I'm currently in Level 3 of Audio Video Tech, where I am also an active member of NHS, Beta Club, and National Honor Society. As an avid watcher of movies from our generation's greatest filmmakers, I would like to pursue this career in the future. In addition to filmmaking, I usually read and sit on my phone for hours on end because I'm too anxious to do anything productive. My name is Jet Lopez and I am JCNS-TV.
Now for a 6-word, 6-shot story by Maggie Johnson.
Now it's time for a short documentary by Russell Henley. Please enjoy.
They've never used this sort of scarifier before, but things are desperate. It's war to a finish this time. The scouts of the advancing army have keen eyesight, and in order to get close to the main body, our lads have to do some real stalking, with the enemy watching events through their periscopes, raised up over the heads of corn.
Alright, so the term Great Australian War is kind of misleading. Yeah, it occurred in Australia, but the war wasn't exactly great per se. Alright, here's kind of a basic summary. So, the Great Emu War was nothing more than just a month-long nuisance wildlife management operation undertaken to prevent the emu population from destroying farmers' crops. The skirmish took place in the Champion District of Western Australia, and is considered a failure on the Australian military's part since they never truly stopped the emus from destroying the crops. The war began on the dawn of the Great Depression, and the Australian government began leaning heavily on farming by giving land to former Australian and British soldiers. The process was going poorly as prices continued to plummet, and farmers were even threatening to boycott their own crops. Around that time, the emus were coming out of their breeding season and began migrating to the farmlands in large numbers. The damages the birds enacted on the crops made the farmers, who were once soldiers, consider using military equipment to deal with them. The war revolves around 2 attempts by the military to get rid of the emu population, and as one would have guessed, the first attempt was largely unsuccessful. Despite the large size of the birds, they were very quick-footed, easily outrunning the range of the soldiers' guns. Even the military's trucks couldn't keep up with them. Attempts had been made by the local settlers and the military itself to herd them into an ambush, but the emus outsmarted them by splitting up into small groups. The birds eventually began electing a scout that would watch for trouble and then alert the pack, so stealth tactics also became ineffective. The military persisted for 4 days, and while they were able to pick off 300 birds total, or at least that's what research says, it wasn't enough to fix the problem, and the military had used around 25,000 rounds of bullets. The military eventually withdrew, but complaints of crop destruction continued. However, the second attempt was much more successful, at least according to the commander, Major J.P.W. Meredith, who also led the last operation. He claimed about 1,000 birds were shot and killed, while 25,000 more birds had died from their wounds. The war only lasted 2 months, from November 2nd to December 13th in 1932. Despite the more successful second attempt to deal with the emus, farmers still continued to plead the government on the issue. However, the government turned down every following request to have the military deal with the birds. The emu population still flourished and continued destroying the farmers' crops, the major reason why people consider the war effort a failure. However, farmers eventually began employing barrier fencing to protect their crops, which proved effective on emus and other animals.
And now time for our sports news.
Are you a female? Do you play soccer? If you answered yes to both of those questions, there will be an informational ladies soccer meeting in the ISS room in the new gym, which is next to the weight room, on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. This meeting is mandatory for all returning players. Up next is a Beyblade tournament video by Larry Sigmund. Congrats to Braden Serber for probably winning. Now, last week our volleyball team took 4 wins, now 10-0 in the region and 30-7 overall. The volleyball team will take on Winder Barrow in Dawson County on Thursday at 5 and 7 at home. Be there or be square. On Friday, our volleyball program watched the UGA versus Georgia Tech game. Here's a quick recap by Gia Moa, followed by Olivia Wilson's hype video. Last Thursday on senior night, softball swept the regular season with crosstown rival Dragons 2-0. They take down 6A ranked Northgate Vikings and 5A Loganville Friday. The softball team will be on the road to Madison County Thursday. This Friday, the football team will travel to Hart County, Jersey out for this game. On Saturday, cross country will continue at Lamar Murphy Park while our competition cheer team will be at Mill Creek. Good luck, Panthers. I'm Brighton Binky, your JCNS-TV sports anchor.
Now you guys have been waiting for it. Now it's time for Teacher of the Week.
Who's gonna be Teacher of the Week? Spit it, Ethan! What? Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Alright, okay. Alright. Whoa. Yeah! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Congratulations, Mr. O'Reilly, for winning Teacher of the Week again. What do you have to say about it?
Great.
Nice. Well, that's all for Teacher of the Week. Join us next week. See ya.
Don't forget about College Planning Night and to take the pledge. That's all for the show this week. I'm Zared Mays.
And I'm Ethan Ring. Thanks for watching, and remember to
Stay cool.